Two new grants totaling more than $270,000 have been awarded to the Georgia Forestry Commission to help combat the problem of arson. Damon Jones takes a look at what that money is going towards and why it's so important.
While Smokey the Bear claims only you can prevent forest fires, the government is making sure to do their part as well. Thanks to a couple of new grants, the Georgia Forestry Commission is now better equipped to handle a surprisingly high number of arson cases.
We're averaging in the last 5 years about 1,100 arson fires, wildland arson fires that Georgia Forestry Commission responds to. And last year it was about that same, around 1,000 and 25,000 acres were burned with those arson fires.
So even though most incidents are not a direct result of arson, it still remains a major concern for enforcement agents. That makes it even more important for them to show the public just how devastating these acts can be.
Our biggest problem, of course, is debris burning, and our second most cause of wildfires is from arson. So those are areas that we need to tackle, and we need to get a prevention message out so that we can reduce the number of fires that we have nationally or in the state.
And the new grants, which total nearly $300,000, should also go a long way in arson prevention, as the lack of funding has put a real strain on the task force unit.
Well, pretty severely. I mean, our budget is in pretty dire straits with the cuts in the economy the way it is. So we have pretty much the minimum we would need, but this allows us to get some stuff that we weren't able to fund through state funds.
As for what that money is specifically going towards,
and that grant's going to be able to provide us some funding to provide training for some of our chief rangers and some of our investigators to better do origin and cause on wildland fire investigations. We're also going to buy a lot of equipment that we've needed with the budget cuts in the state, and that grant's to develop an arson task force in the southern region of the Forest Service, which actually includes most of the southeast states. And we're going to have training for those states and also develop a task force plan where we can utilize resources from other states in times of need.
Well, we've got 3 people that are working full-time on our task force, and the money's going to help because we've had so many fires in 2011 and 2007 that this task force money is going to help these people go out and train some of our chief rangers to investigate some of these problems locally, and then that way we'll have a statewide force of people to go out and look at, an arson task force to go out and look at these fires that we have issues with.
And that's not the only way the government is helping to crack down on this crime, as they have also increased the penalty for wildland arson. As recently as 2008, the offense was considered just a misdemeanor. However, now it's a state felony.
And the minimum is 1 to 5 years in prison. The second degree, which is more than 5 acres, you can get up to 10 years in prison. And then if there's an endangerment of life, you can get up to 20 years in prison. So now it's comparable to setting a structure on fire. It's equal to that.
So with the increase in both punishment and security, the state of Georgia is setting a new precedence in the protection of their wildlife. For the Georgia Farm Monitor, I'm Damon Jones.